welcome to This Is. We often get scammed, bamboozled, skullduggered. We get cumberbatched. We get hogwashed. So over on Austin's channel, we looked at what we would consider fraudulent.
No, it was actually fraudulent. The video has been up for a couple days now by the time you're watching this, but essentially the gist is, I just went down the rabbit hole of trying to find gaming PCs on Amazon. Instead of finding the HPs, the Asuses,
We found like this underworld, this weird culture of scam PCs that are being sold on the internet to you, your grandma, and your grandma's friend.
No, mostly your 12-year-old nephew. Essentially what's happening is companies are building PCs with flashy RGB cases and components from junk Dells that are 10 years old that came out of an office. They are proliferating the gaming PC search on Amazon. They look identical to the good gaming PCs, but still, if you know what the parts are inside, you're paying $400, $500, $600 for maybe $100 worth of parts that half of them would probably gonna go in the recycle bin anyway.
Austin, you're forgetting one thing, that they are RGB. Really good brands. What we did is we went through the rabbit hole ourselves and looked for some more, what we're gonna classify as skullduggeries. Moving on to the first one. Here we have the listing that started it all. The Alarco gaming PC desktop. We're not gonna get into this one too much because you can go check out Austin's video on it. It's great, I think. I don't actually watch his content. Boom, roasted. It's a bunch of specs that are old and it's being sold for not old prices.
$450 for like an RGB case and a bunch of junk that they tossed in and call it a gaming PC is, I would say, egregious. I hope the video has rustled some jimmies over at Amazon.
I hope that someone over at Amazon had their ding-a-ling rung to notify of them that this is bad. Let's see the next scam PC. The ViprTech Enthusiast Gaming PC Desktop.
So I will say that this particular one is essentially equivalent to what you're gonna find the majority of the time on Amazon. So going down the list here, they say it's a Core i5-2400. The i5-2400 came out in 2011. So a 12-year-old processor.
This processor is older than most of our viewers. Like,
that's not true.
You want the best in gaming performance, you have here an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 660.
8 gigs of RAM, a 1 terabyte hard drive, not even an SSD. So they tell the games tested. GTA 5, Fortnite, CSGO.
If you need the ultimate power to play Among Us, just check out these builds. My favorite listing is in the specs. It comes with a GTX 660, in parentheses, better than a GTX 750 Ti.
These things came out in like 2013, 2014. Who cares? That'd be like, the iPhone 10, better than the iPhone 4. Like, yeah, cool, I guess.
So according to some reviews, this crashes on simple games like Roblox. Randomly shuts off. Was told it was the game I was playing. It wasn't. Turns out bad motherboard.
If you were selling a new PC with components that are 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, most PC components, sure, will have a very nice long life. But if you're buying it and it's 10 years old, you can't expect everything in that system to work for the long haul. Look, someone actually did the math. Overall, I'm looking at the specs that are actually in my computer. It only costs around $207, not including the case. People in the reviews are literally doing the math on this. And again, if you look at the actual specs here, if you're trying to find the Core i5-2400 on eBay and everything like that, you're gonna spend a little bit more. But what these guys are doing is they're buying pallets of Dells for like $10 each, or these things are just literally going to the e-waste bin they're getting for free, pulling out the components that are good, and then they're just buying like an RGB case, slapping it in, and calling it a day.
Where I think it's so much more nefarious, and I kind of brought this up in our other video, but I think these guys are getting paid to do this. I think they are going to companies saying, for a fee, we'll take care of all your old systems. And some, mom and pop shops say, oh yeah, we have 40 computers we don't know what to do with. Here, we'll pay you to take these off our hands.
Yeah.
To take them to recycling, and then they're gutting them. So not only are they getting paid to recycle them, then they're stripping all the components and reselling them. Why are we not doing this?
Okay, now that's not the
check out our link to check out
no. So this is the STG Aubron. Now this is actually another one that I saw. I believe this was actually like the #1 search result.
But the cool thing about this one is it comes with accessories.
I'm gonna say this with like the biggest grain of salt ever. This one actually seems to be a little bit more reasonable, right? So they claim it's i7 3.4 up to 3.9 gigahertz.
An RX 580 is actually a pretty decent card.
This is a reasonable sort of system, and it comes with RGB keyboard, mouse pad, everything. It's got an SSD, which makes sense, 16 gigs of RAM. To be fair, I am not telling you to actually go buy this Aubron, but this is a better sort of deal because at least some of the components are newer compared to everything being like 10 years old. There's no doubt that this seems like a better system. It's got the SSD and it's got more RAM and everything like that. But you've got to be clear on these listings. Are you selling these things with used components? And what are the components, right? If I'm getting an i5 or an i7, there are 13 generations of these things, especially if you're just comparing it to whatever's out. If you just see 3.4 gigahertz, that doesn't mean anything almost, right? There's like 3.4 gigahertz could be like a lower end i5 from yesterday or 10 years ago, right? Like that's such a misleading kind of thing.
These are really good brands. Moving on to the next one.
$7,200! $7,200! Bro, you
this
can buy
costs
two
more
Ford
than
Focus.
a 1998 Ford Focus.
Hold me.
I don't want to. Who cares about specs? I don't give a shit about specs in these anymore. I like looking at the listings. It will make you a better gamer. That's all I need to know. I don't care about any specs anymore. This tells me I'm going to be a better gamer. You know what? $7,200 is a steal for how I'm going to be a better gamer.
The computer will take 6 to 8 weeks to finish the product, install the software, and complete product testing.
Yeah.
We understand that there's a wait. Because of that, we will throw in a free 24-inch 5K high-definition OLED screen that will make your gameplay flawless.
So that doesn't exist.
What? Okay, so these guys are just straight scamming you.
No, they're not. No. So they invented their own screen. All right, they invented a new panel, handmade. We know Etsy likes to handmade computers.
In addition, I was like, damn, that image looks familiar. So I reverse image searched that exact picture, and I found this NewEgg listing.
They're not even building the system.
No.
They're buying it from
waiting,
NewEgg.
They're waiting for NewEgg to ship it to them, so then they can ship it to you.
What if they just drop ship it? What if they're literally drop shipping it from NewEgg to you? What the This is straight up. You're buying something from NewEgg and you're flipping it for thousands of dollars for profit for people who are looking up gaming PCs on Etsy.
That's that Sigma bro mentality right there,
Hey,
all right?
Kinsey, can you check the listing? Is it Matt's address? If I message the Etsy, let's see if his phone goes off.
I'm not gonna pretend like I did this. I'm not gonna pretend like I made this listing.
I just messaged.
I do it for the art, you guys.
This could be a thing now. This is just a thing now.
I steal from Austin just so we can make better videos.
Oh, no. The Skytech Archangel, $1,690.
I feel like we need an Archangel to take that thing back up to hell where it belongs.
For reference, it's got a Ryzen 5 3600 and a GTX 1660 with a 500 gig SSD, 8 gigs of RAM, and that's it.
It comes with a Wraith cooler.
This is probably worth $500. Tops.
That Wraith cooler right there alone is worth $1,200.
It's included in the box.
I'm not defending this list.
Are you gonna victim shame right now?
I'm gonna do a little victim shaming on this one because this one is being more open than the other ones are. So like,
if you buy this, you are
like this one is if you're buying this one, it is egregious, but. This one here, you didn't do your homework on it.
They're very much telling you what,
Yeah, like it's the other ones, they're hiding that information from you.
Dude, there's only 62% positive reviews in the last 12 months. Like, they're basically making $1,000 in profit, selling you a $1,600 system.
There's a really good chance that for $1,600, this is just pure money laundering, right? The Nick Mafia guy, he comes over, he says,
if you don't buy his PC, he breaks your kneecaps?
I'm gonna buy a PC and I'm gonna send... Like, they funnel their dirty money through NewEgg. Waste of money, the pros none, cons, infinite boot screen, which should just be the only one that it's infinite. Some of the USB and Ethernet ports may not work, may not be able to connect to the internet at all, and may not be able to connect to speakers. So like 4 of the 5 things that a computer needs to do.
And so for a comparison, I found a HP on Amazon for $600 less with better specs in every way.
Yeah, exactly. And so this is from an actual reputable brand, called HP. For $600 less, it has a far better processor, a much better graphics card, more RAM, 1 terabyte SSD. It's better in every possible way.
But how am I supposed to know that this is better in every possible way if they don't tell me that the 2060 is better than the 1660? I'm calling for a boycott of HP for not telling me.
Oh my God, Matt, are you just upset that someone's ruining your scam racketeering?
I want no one else to buy any other PC other than mine. All of these are probably the same, like 1 or 2 companies. All of those ones on Amazon are all the same specs.
Yeah.
The case is a little different, but like they basically say we're a different company, so we'll get a different cheap case. But like it's probably all the same group.
Some enterprising business people who have learned that you can turn lemons into lemonade, and by lemons into lemonade, I mean rip off 12-year-olds.
Let's talk about the ethics.
Yeah. Of your scam empire.
Yeah, so like I think I'm doing okay. I think I'm fine.
But everyone else is the problem. You're fine. Everyone else is causing issues. Look, this kind of stuff is always going to be a thing, right? Because what you've got is you've got people who want a PC who maybe are not ready or willing to build it themselves. A lot of people who might not be super familiar with the difference between a Ryzen 5 and a Ryzen 7 or 1660 and a
especially a
2060.
Ryzen 5 of different generations.
Absolutely.
Like it's okay to not understand this stuff, and it's okay to buy a pre-built. But the takeaway, like I want people to have from this is there are scams, there are overpriced listings. So like you do have to do your homework a little bit.
Basically, if you're seeing pre-builts from a reputable company like HP and Asus and whatnot, the majority of them, not all of them, to be fair, there are certainly some. The vast majority of what you're finding on sites such as Amazon, NewEgg, Etsy, these are actual scams, right? People are taking a couple $100s, they're making it look nice with an RGB case that's gonna blend in with all the other expensive PCs. But guess what? You're getting ripped off. Not only do they have questionable support, but they are making piles of money on you. If you're looking at one of these PCs, even especially in the lower budgets, right? You look around for say $500-600, you're actually gonna have a hard time finding an equivalent HP or Asus, right? Which would make sense why you might be like, oh, well, I can't look at the HP version because it's $800 and it doesn't have the same spec, right? Just Google a few of the parts. If you're seeing things that were made in 2010, 2011, 2012, if you're seeing things that are made in 2015 or 2017, those are old components. There's nothing wrong with that, but be very mindful that when you're buying components that are used and years old, you don't know what the reliability is. You don't know if the graphics card was sitting on a mining rig for 5 years at 100%, and then you got tossed in your system.
But like you're assuming it took two people who know PCs very well, some detective work, to find that some of these are 10 years old. That's where, again, if it's not from a reputable dealer, there are some, companies that we know to be reputable that aren't the HPs, that aren't the Asus. It's like iBuyPower has is for the most part usually pretty good.
There's Origin PC.
Yeah,
and to be fair,
but
they are usually a little expensive, but at least that's in the realm of okay. But no, these are straight up scams, right? Like they're charging you $500, $600 more, or they're charging you $300 or $400 extra on a system that they probably put together for $50, $75.
But how do I know? That's what I want. That's what I'm asking you. How do I know?
Don't trust these things. The other thing is what we found in the other video we did was a lot of the negative reviews have been removed through various skullduggery. I would just say as a blanket statement, do not buy gaming PCs from brands that you are not very familiar with. And if you have a question about it, Google it.
Better yet, post it to Reddit. And people will love to tell you what a terrible PC that is. But you know what you should do for $500? You should buy a Mac, stupid. Let us know in the comments if you bought one of these scam PCs.
That's smooth.
Like, follow, subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one.